Good morning, Kabroda crew, and welcome to our live stream. Hope you all had a good yesterday and good night's sleep. Ready for some trading today. Got just taking some stuff off my chart, but we had a little bit of a breakdown yesterday. By the time we actually started breaking down, it's more in the afternoon, 2 or 3 or so. And then we ended up actually breaking up through the night into this morning. And now we are kind of sitting right above most of the 21s. Actually in between the 21 and the 200 on the 15 here, but we are above most of the 200s, above the hour. Broke it. Looks like we're about to retest it pretty soon here. We are still below that 4 hour as of right now, but overall, pretty decent little move over the night. Moving up, setting up something different for us today. So we'll have to kind of jump in, see what that's about. If y'all are interested in kind of seeing where we were at throughout the day yesterday and kind of just seeing what we were kind of thinking as we looked at the battle box and so on, check out our recap. It comes out at 10. That'll kind of cover all of that and more. It's also a good place to get some just trading knowledge if you're interested in learning or already know and just want to learn a little bit more. It's a great place to kind of learn some more trading knowledge. We're not 100%, but it's always nice to hear from somebody else, even if you are at the same level as them. All right. Other than that, I guess we'll just kind of jump in. That's kind of where we're sitting at right now, that 109 level. So we'll kind of jump in, get our levels set up, and kind of see what we're looking at for today. So we'll head on to our GPT, get our battle box made. We're going to see if the generate today's BTC daily market review works. Nope. Yeah, we got a bunch of, this is not what we're looking for. Still off a little bit, so we're just going to go ahead and jump into, we'll do make a DMR. Oh, DMR, not DRM. There we go. Alright, so we'll need the normal stuff, 4 different screenshots for our 1 hour, 15 to 5 minute. We'll need those FRVP levels, 30-minute candles, and news screenshot. So I'm going to grab the news screenshot first, just get it out of the way. So if you want to open up cryptocraft.com, you can find it here. It's just cryptocraft.com /calendar if you want to see the news events. But we're going to go to today's date, the 23rd. And then we're just going to go ahead and screenshot this here for us. So we'll go ahead and screenshot it there. And then we're just going to paste it right into here just to make it nice and simple. And now that we have that, we can just go ahead and start with our 4 different screenshots. So I'm going to go down from the 4 hour, just kind of go and grab each screenshot. One thing I am going to do before I take my screenshots though is I'm going to actually turn off some of these, at least the different lines that we got on for our live stream. So turn all those off. Now we just got our nice clean chart. We do have some levels here, but those are mostly for if we break out or break down, just kind of different targets that we might have. And I'm pretty sure it should be fine with leaving those on there, so I'm just going to leave them on. Just kind of zoom out a little bit here, and then we'll auto this one, all autoed. So now we can just go ahead and take our screenshot, and we'll just go down the line. to that 1 hour. Alright. Almost done with our screenshots. Probably the easiest part of the process, just grabbing the screenshots, putting them in here. Pretty simple. If y'all aren't or want to follow along with me, there's a link in the description for our battle box. You can go ahead and click on it, and that'll take you right to this AI or GPT that I'm using right here. It is our custom GPT that we built specifically for one, just kind of just teaching you to trade, and also just like helping you learn more about TA and stuff like that. So it is for educational purposes only, but if you would like to use it or even just follow along with me to kind of see how to use it, you can go ahead and do that. We'll mostly be setting it up, and then we're going to talk about the TA and stuff, but yeah, if you are interested in following along, go ahead, check it out. It's in the description. Alright, so the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm just going to do FRVP levels. And I'm going to type in 24-hour, and then I'll do volume area high, VOC, and volume area low. And then I'll do a warning section, and I'm just going to copy and paste these right underneath it, just like that. Now we got an area to put all of our different levels there. So the last one I'll do is a 30-minute candle. Oops. 30-minute candle. And we'll do high and low. And we can just throw our different levels in here as well for the 30-minute. So we'll start off though with our different FRVP levels. So heading back to our trade view here, we're going to go to our 1 hour because that'll be the easiest chart to do this on. You can actually do it on any chart, it's just harder to find the candles. So we'll head to our this little tool over here. So if you go from the crosshairs down 1, 2, 3, 4, and then go over to volume base, and right under there it'll say fixed range volume profile. That's what we want. That'll be the tool we'll be using, and then we're going to go to 7 o'clock yesterday. This 22nd is yesterday, so 7 o'clock to 7 o'clock today. And these lines here are going to be our different FRVP levels. So red is going to be your volume area high, yellow will be all your POC, and then blue will be your volume area low. And if you need some settings for it, go ahead and just ask us in the comments. We'll go ahead and respond to you. You could also check out our channel. I'm pretty sure we have a video covering this. But if we don't, just ask us in the comments. Maybe we'll have to make a new video on that, covering how to use FRVP levels and such. Moving on, we got I'm just going to go ahead and throw my lines up there. So I already have my 24-hour POC and volume area high and volume area low on my chart. If you don't already have them, you can just go ahead and press Alt and J, and that'll give you a new line, and then you can just go through and edit the style, the text, coordinates. Just basically you can edit the style so it looks more like mine, and then change the text. We'll kind of add something like that so you can see the POC. If you don't want to name your line over here in the object tree, you just click on settings and then click edit up here at the top, and that'll change the name over here on the settings. So you can tell which one's which as after you put them in here. So I got my 3 lines on here though already. So I'm just going to go ahead and grab them and click and drag them right onto the different lines for my chart here. So we got our volume area high, POC, and our volume area low. And if you remember from any of the other live streams, if you've been to any of our live streams, you'll know support and resistance are zones. So even if you don't get it perfectly lined up, you'll be alright, because the zone will most likely fit into where your line relatively is. So we got our 3 lines on there. Now what we're going to do is we're going to start off with the volume area high. We're just going to click settings, and then from settings you're going to go to coordinates. Going to copy it out of there, and then we're going to go back to our AI and just paste it into there. And if you want to do this by yourself, the easiest way is probably just to split screen between TradingView and the GPT. That way you can just kind of work off one. I'm running dual screen, so I can kind of just flip back and forth between them. But honestly, it'd probably be easier just to have them dual screened. Alright, so we got those on there now. So all 3 lines are in our GPT, as you can see. Got all 3 of them there. Now we're going to move to the morning ones. So for the morning ones, it's going to be a little different. Close out our lines here for the 24-hour, and we're going to take the FRVP levels that we drew on here, so the thing with the red, yellow, and blue, and we're going to grab the back where we put it at 7 and move it up to 3 o'clock this morning. So 3 o'clock, 3 a.m. to 7 a.m. today, and that'll give us these lines here, kind of show you where our levels are going to be for the morning. So I'm going to turn on my morning levels here, and I'm just going to do the exact same thing. Click and drag, click and drag, click and drag. Just move them all, kind of get them relatively lined up. I like to kind of get them in the zone, like close to where they're supposed to be, and then just drag them in as I zoom in. Just like that. So now I got all my warning ones, and then what I have to do is make sure those are in the GPT. So we'll just go to settings, copy it out of there. And one thing to note too is once you get those lines done once, like once you go to the coordinates tab once on one of the lines, you can just open up the settings for the line, and it will already be on the coordinates tab, or should already be there. And that, because of that, you can just press Control-C like right when it opens and just copy it right out of there. You don't have to highlight it every single time. Alright, so we got all of our 24-hour levels, all our morning levels. Now we're going to grab that 30-minute candle. So I'm going to head back to TradeView. I am going to just close out this FRVP level here and go ahead and turn off my warning lines. And then I'm just going to head straight over to the 30-minute chart. And this is where we're actually going to get the 30-minute candle, high and low, crazy. But we're going to go over here to the object tree. So if you don't know where that is, you're going to go to the right of your screen, and you'll see these little tools over here on the right side. So yours will probably look like this. Little tools over here on the right side of the screen. There's like a little a note looking thing with alert or alarm clock looking thing, and then there's like some boxes on top of each other, and then little messages. If you go down to the boxes, click on it, that'll be your object tree. And one cool thing that you can do from here, so this is where you can kind of see like where all the lines are on your chart. If you don't know how to use this yet, there is a video on our channel covering that, so go over, check that out if you need to learn how to use the object tree a little bit better. We do have just a video covering kind of how to organize it, how to even like just use it in general. But another cool thing that is right here, another cool tool up at the top where it says object tree, to the right there's a thing that says data window. If you click on that and then go to the 7:30 candle, you can see that the open, high, low, close, change, all of that is right here in this little box. So we can just go ahead and grab it from right there. Another thing that might also work on your chart is if you double click and hold on the second click, then you'll get this little window to kind of pop up. It doesn't work on everybody's chart for some reason. We haven't quite found a setting yet. So there's this box though, which is a lot easier to use. If you're not interested in opening this as well, there is another section up at the top under where it says Kabroda on my chart, where you can kind of see the the open, high, low, close, all of that up there. There's just an H and an L right up there. That'll have the high and the low. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hover over the 730, and we're going to look at the high and the low. So the high is going to be 109.158. Head back to our ChatGPT, type it in. 109. What was it? 109.158. 109.158. Wow, that was way too many numbers. 109.158. There we go. So head back to your trade view and hover over it again. Low is going to be 108.749. 108.749. Alright, so that's all of the levels that we're actually going to need, and all of our screenshots. And so all we have to do now is just go ahead and send it in. Alright, so this is kind of what our market recap will look like. So you can see we got some different time frames here with the TA summary essentially right here. We'll kind of hit that in a minute, kind of go over the 4 different time frames starting with the 4 hour. But I'm going to show you the rest of the GPT real fast, or at least the DMR that it puts out. So we got some levels here. You should already have these on your chart just based off how we just did it. But if not, you can grab them right out of here and put them on your chart. You got your trade strategy, so kind of short little strategy. We're going to go over this a little bit later on. We're going to set up a battle plan, which is essentially just a longer version of this section. You can also see some news events. One thing for this is make sure you are checking the expected impact, because a lot of times it has a hard time differentiating between yellow, orange, and red. So if you see like, oh, I thought this one was medium, but it's high on here, go back, check your news on your actual screenshot, and this will that'll kind of tell you. But if you need to just kind of see like what time they are and stuff, that's what this section's good for. Just not so much on the expected impact. You can also see some things to kind of watch out for as you're looking to execute a trade. And then if you did put the weekly zone references on there, they should pop up here. And then EMA levels are there as well. So if you need to kind of just grab some more, the breakdown, breakup, resistance, support, 30-minute high and low, all of those are right here, so you can just grab them and input them into your chart. Real nice and easy. But yeah, that's kind of it for the market recap. That's kind of what it looks like. So we'll just start up at the top with our different time frames, starting off with that 4 hour. So we'll head on to the chart, and the way that this works, I'll just kind of read what the Battle Box has to say, the GPT has to say, and then we'll kind of cover what's going on. Before we start, I'm going to turn back all my lines real fast. Whoop, too many lines. There we go. Alright, so now we got our lines back on, and I'm going to go ahead and read that GPT. So the GPT says for the 4 that the BTC is consolidating below the 110 shelf, sitting between the 50 EMA and the 200 EMA. It's between the believe red is 50. Sometimes it gets the EMAs wrong. So it's actually, it did get to 50 right, but it is below. It's actually between the 50 and the 21 being the gray one. So if I zoom in a little bit, you can see it a little better. See this gray line here is our 21, and then you got this red one here, that'll be our 50. But we're in between those both, and we are, that 110K shelf is right up here. Momentum is neutral bearish with flattening MACD histogram. RSI is near midline, basically around 49, suggests indecision. Structure shows a potential lower high retest after Monday's flush. Alright, so zooming in, we can see that we got a breakup here on Tuesday into, well, no, it was just Tuesday, I guess. So the Tuesday we got a breakup. Actually ended up coming all the way back down on Tuesday. Wednesday kind of sat sideways, and then kind of broke up into today. So we just didn't have that nice flush. Monday specifically, we had even more of a flush. Was that last Monday? No, it wasn't. Yeah, Monday here we had that flush breakup Tuesday, and then came back basically to where we were kind of sitting. MACD is actually flipping right here, so you can see this green little candle starting to pop up here on the histogram. So we're seeing that flip there on the MACD. We are below the 21 on the 4 hour, which is not great for price action. Typically we're more bearish when we are below the 200 and the 21. You can see RSI as well is starting to show some signs of an up run here. Starting to see that curl up, so possible up run as long as we continue that curl and don't just end up flipping back to the other side. Stoches are bottomed out, so they're calling for more of that run. However, stoches don't really matter on the 4 hour, as we kind of know if you've seen this stream before or seen any of our real videos. We talk about stoches don't really matter on the longer time frames. They're just not that great of an indicator for the longer time frames like this. Overall, yeah, that's kind of what we're looking for on the 4 hour. I'm not sure why we got this spike here. To me, it looks kind of like a news or something. But you could say based off that spike, we did get this kind of flag forming here, with that being the top and that's kind of the bottom. Got a little bit of flag forming. Will it actually matter? I don't know. We'll see. But that would be a down run if we did get that down another, I don't know. We'll see. Let's see how far we're gonna go. It'd be to like 102, which the chart has been calling for like that 98,000 for quite a little bit. We're trying to look to fill this wick here at from that Friday a little bit ago on the 10th. We're looking to kind of fill that and close somewhat down here to kind of just fill in that wick and get that little bit of a bounce down. 98 is really the kind of level that we were looking at a while ago. We'll see if we get down there, kind of fill it up. Could happen, could be a little bit before that happens. Not necessarily today, just kind of something to watch for. We're going to head on to that 1 hour now. So the 1 hour, the battle box says there's short-term rebound attempts selling at 109.6. Just under the morning volume area high. MACD histogram is narrowing, indicating loss of bullish momentum, and price remains capped by descending MA cluster. So you can see all of our MAs are kind of starting to cluster up here, get real tight. This 21 is actually below that, so we haven't seen that come up into the cluster of EMAs there yet, but there's potential there. We're kind of coming down right now and retesting this 200 we broke out of this morning. Yeah, well, last night into this morning. Broke through that 200, and now we're kind of coming down for that retest. So will we hold it? We'll see. Kind of something to definitely be watching out for, because if we do see that break of that, that's kind of that is definitely more of a bearish sign, especially for today. So we'll see how we kind of handle this 200 here. MACD is losing momentum here. You can see we got a run up, and then we now are kind of seeing that run fade off into the histogram. You're going to see those two moving averages cross real soon. That'll kind of be the indicator that we're going to look for more of a down run here. So we'll see if we can get a possible bounce and curve back to the upside here, or not. RSI is kind of calling for more of that down run here, as we can see that the fast moving average, or the purple, it just crossed the slower one, which is the yellow line. So looking for more of a down run there. We haven't seen the yellow curve as of yet, but it looks like it's going to be a possibility for sure. Looking like we might get that cross to the downside, possible down day. We'll see. Stoches are confirming that downtrend. Again, 1 hour, not great for Stoches. A little bit too long term still for the Stoches to be highly accurate, I guess, on longer time frames like that. So not something cool, I guess, that it is lining up, but not something that I would bank anything off of for sure. So heading to the 15. The 15, we have the battle box says we have compression structure forming between 108 to 109.3, with MACD fading and RSI drifting down from 55 to 48. Minor bull attempts are meeting immediate supply near 109.4. Right. So you can see that 109 level. We're kind of holding above this volume area low here as of right now. We are also above our 200 here on, so we're that's kind of sitting at that 24-hour volume area low. So for really to be bearish, we kind of need to see that break of that and continuation down. That'll kind of tell us that we're more bearish, at least for the smaller time frame today. And if we get that break up, we need to kind of see it break through that 21 before we're looking at taking an up trade like that. As of right now, we're kind of in the no trade zone between these two. Not really something we want to be looking at real hard. We are losing momentum here on the MACD. So you can see we had a little bit of a bear run, and then we sort of lose momentum, more of a bear run, lose momentum again, and then we ended up crashing down here to the 200, and now we're losing some of that momentum. So will we continue that momentum to the downside? We'll see. Not confirmed yet. RSI is also looking for that down run here, so we are about 50 right now. So really more neutral. We are tilted down though, so we're looking for more of that bear run here. The RSI is showing more that we're going to go down than up, so we'll see kind of how that plays out. But as of right now, it's looking more of a bearish type indicator. So looking for that down run. What we'd need to see for it to flip bullish is see that curl here, possibly see the purple break through the yellow. So that faster moving average break through that yellow, slower moving average. That would be kind of what we'd be looking for the RSI to kind of flip to more of that bullish side. Stoches are actually bottomed out, so we're looking for more of a bull run here. On the Stoches at least. So possible good sign there. 15-minute is within the time frame for the Stoches to be a good indicator of kind of what's going to happen. So there is a possibility MACD and RSI both kind of confirm that down, and Stoches are looking more to the upside. So will we go up or down? We'll see. It is possible to get more of a little bit of a flag, I guess, kind of forming here to the side, and then we kind of break down. One thing to note too is pattern-wise, we are kind of in this flag here, so we can kind of see that there's a bit of a flag here, and if we were to kind of play that out, we'd be looking for a trade up to at least 110.5 or so, possibly higher. Hard to tell. We'll kind of have to play it by ear, see how this flag really breaks out. Like I said, we do need to get above that 21 before we kind of call anything, or below the 200. Either way, we're kind of, as of right now, we're kind of just bouncing in between them, so there's nothing really to kind of look at trading. Heading to that 5 minute, the GPT says we have microstructure, shows repeated wicks above 109.25 to 109.30K. Confirming short-term seller defense, fast oscillators cycling at low amplitude, low momentum chop phase. Boom, love the flag target. 112.500 target for me. Certain makers looking for it to go to 112.500. That's pretty close to our target here at 112.1. Let's see what that's actually for. Yes, that's for this little high here before we got to the actual high of the move. Last week, I think it was. Nope. Well, no, that was like yesterday. My bad. I guess that was, we're on the 5 minute, huh? Short. A lot of candles on the 5 minute. Nothing really TA wise that I see here, like no flag patterns. Obviously that flag, you can kind of still see it for the longer time frames, but on this one it doesn't look quite as pretty. MACD is crossing to the upside, so we're looking like we're going to get a little bit of a bull move here. You can see that RSI is also flipping to the upside here, so we're looking like we're going to get a little bit of a run. Continuation there. RSI is, or stochastics, sorry, are kind of neutral. We are still bullish at the moment, but we are pretty close to that overbought zone, or overbought zone. So we're looking for that flip to the bear side, possible breakdown here, according to the stochastics. So that's kind of what we're looking for. It's not really confirmed yet. We're kind of waiting for that 15 minute to kind of confirm which direction we're going to be looking for today. Pattern wise, we are looking more to the upside, as well as some of the indicators and stuff. However, we do need to get down at some point to that 109.98 level, 100,000 level, kind of. That could happen anytime though, so kind of just sitting around seeing what we're kind of going to do for today, seeing if we're going to break down. We'll see. Kind of just waiting for that confirmation of that break, either down or up. Yeah, I guess let's make our battle plan, kind of go over that a little bit, and then I will sign off for today. So, make a battle plan. Alright, so our battle plan should basically kind of just goes over some of the ideas here, with some different trade strategies, and then just kind of what to watch out for, what to kind of think about as you're looking at them. All for educational purposes only, of course, but that's kind of what this battle plan will kind of go over. So VTAC is coiling under key resistance. We're looking for that structure, neutral bearish bias, expected expansion move triggered by the 30-minute range break. So we're looking for a little bit of a breakup here, possibly, is what the battle box is kind of calling. You can see our breakout zones. We kind of already covered those on the other thing, but this is kind of the most important part here, where you can see the different scenarios. So we got that breakout. So if we get a 15-minute close above that 109.6 range. That's kind of where we're looking for to take up trade here. So 109.6 is right above that. Well, I guess it's a lot higher than I thought. It's basically at that volume area high. So that'll mean we're above R21 on the 15-minute here. That'll show us, confirm that we are getting that up trade. So once we get that close above there, and then obviously retest on the 5-minute is the way that you want to jump in. And then we'll be looking for 110.6 is our first kind of target. So essentially, I guess I don't really have anything on the chart yet, but 110.6 is going to be our first target here. So something there. And then above that, we're going to look at 111.6. So just above my other target here at 111.6, that's our next target for today. Oops. Our next target for today. And then if we're stretching, we're going to go to 112, 132. 112, 500 is short maker's target. So somewhere in between those two ranges is kind of the targets that we're looking for. That's kind of our stretch target for the third goal there. So honestly, you're kind of taking, if you get in that trade, if that sets up, then we're kind of looking for some resistance here at this 110,600 level, watching for that breakdown. If we end up breaking through that, we should see a retest, but it doesn't really matter, I guess. If we continue up from there, we're looking for resistance at 111, and then so on and so on. So as we go through the resistances, you're just watching for weakness there, and if you see that, then it's just time to get out before we end up actually breaking down here. Worst case, you take your trade off early, you make some money. So not a huge deal if we end up taking it off too fast. Moving on, we got a breakdown trade. So if we get that breakdown below the 200 here on the 15-minute, the battle box is actually calling for the hour close below 108.9. So the hour close below this 24-hour volume area high, and then that retest on 108.900 is what it would like us to jump into. Honestly, a little different. I don't know why it's kind of going for that hour close, but it is interesting there that it is going for that. I don't know, we'll kind of have to watch that one, I guess. If you get that 15-minute retest is when it says you want to jump in for that one. So I guess it'll be more confirmed. You'll get more of a 100% trade on that one if that does end up happening for sure. So the targets for that one are going to be 108,400. So essentially right about here where we had some resistance on the chart yesterday, I believe. That's kind of our first target, and then below that we got 107.9. So that 24-hour POC, and then our 24-hour volume area low will kind of be our last target here. More of a stretch target there if we get that. So really, what we're kind of looking at today is we either get that breakdown below that 200 or the breakup above that 21. Either way, then we're kind of looking for that trade with the retest there. On the bottom, it does need to be a little more confirmed before you probably wanted to just kind of jump into it. And then obviously on the top, that's kind of what we're thinking more it's going to do today. Again, not financial advice, so if you want to jump into any of those trades, we're just here to give you educational purposes. We're just here for educational purposes only. Make sure you do your own research and all of that. But yeah, that's kind of what we are thinking for today. Kind of what we're looking at. Looks like we're actually getting that breakup right now. See if we can get that close. But yeah, other than that, we will we'll have to see y'all next time. If you are interested in catching some more of our videos, make sure you like and subscribe, hit that bell notification, that way you can catch all of our videos, all of our lives. You can also follow us on X. We have an X account in there. They're all the links are in the description. So check those out. And then yeah, make sure you check out that recap, full of good trading knowledge for yesterday, just full of just TA and stuff like that. So check those out. But yeah, we will see y'all next week on Tuesday at 8 a.m. Hopefully y'all have a good weekend and happy trading, y'all. We'll see you then.